Now, love him or hate him, I get it. We need the food. And we need the truckers to bring us the food. This is what life is like outside cities and big towns. This is rural Ireland. We like big tractors down south. Traffic is virtually held up because this isn't like a car protest. These are HGVs and they can kill.
Can I get your number?
You can, of course. I'm going to whisper it into your ear now, because I'm recording this and I don't want my number going out live, okay?
Very good. I'm
going to whisper it into your ear. No, don't ring me now. Don't ring me now. Ring me later because it'll cut in on the recording. You ring me. I will, of course, absolutely. So, some people might wonder why the Garda had to get involved. And there's a very good reason for this. The traffic management. Now, something's going on up here. I'm not sure. 1 second. I'm just looking at some of the tractors above. They're turning around.
They're turning around, yeah, I don't know.
Tell me what's going on there.
Don't know. I'd say they're blocking the side coming down, I'd say.
Oh, they're blocking the other side of the motorway. Yep. That'd be about right. Wow. Are they though? Can you see them coming down? Not sure what that's all about. But I can see the Drumahan turn-off is blocked. Just up there in the distance on the right-hand side. A lot of young lads here today as well, very young teenagers driving tractors. I've got my flag draped across me. Easier to see me as well. Squad are up there on the left. Little bit of regular traffic there, trying to get through. They'll have a job. Yeah, so that's why the Garda had to be called in. It's for traffic management. I'm sure if the men could do this protest without them, they would prefer it. But, you know, when you're on a go slow on a motorway, it can cause crashes and it's actually dangerous, especially for traditional tractors. Not tractor units, that's what that's called, a tractor unit without the load. That's a tractor unit, that's a tractor. Now there's some other traffic diverting down there to Drumahan. It's like a slip road into the town centre. AA. This is a considerable build-up. What's happening? What's happening?
I actually don't know what he said, but
Okay. See a lot of the younger lads there. They're actually tractor drivers. What's the hold up?
the price of diesel.
Well, yes. Are you going back down?
No, I don't think so. I'm up to Blarney, I think.
I thought we were supposed to be going up.
Why have these turned around?
I don't know.
They're trying to slow the whole lot down.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah. They're dead right.
I thought we were going up and coming down, but
I'm not putting you on camera, don't worry about it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I can if you want, but you might not want to, do you know what I mean? It's a considerable turnout.
Ah, it is. It's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
There's no harm. They don't give a shit, so we don't give a shit.
You're bloody dead right. Here we go. Here's the squad. Or is it an ambulance? What is it? Oh, Lord. Now that's what traffic management is. They have to get through. So the boys don't really know what's happening. There's obviously some confusion or there's some delay. But we'll wait it out another while. I can hear air brakes going off. Bit of a build up there as well with the trucks coming the opposite way. And of course the tractors are in the way, so the trucks won't be able to get down. Be somebody very important to say they're able to go along the slip road. This is a very busy motorway. From about 6:30, 7:15 onwards, it's bumper to bumper. So for this motorway to be blocked off is a very, very big deal. There's an enormous roundabout right at the end of it, and it branches off to Killarney, Limerick, and into Mallow town itself. And Galway obviously via Limerick. So there will be a lot of traffic held up at the other side. Oh, there's some getting through. So it would appear that the outer lanes are going to be kept maybe for the public, and that the protesters will occupy 2 middle lanes. That's what I can see happening at the moment. Now obviously on the way up to Blarney that can change. Traffic jam. A lot of traffic waiting above there as well. Heavy traffic. So last night I put up a post. It was the last post I put up, and it was a breakdown of all the farmers, truck hauliers rather, and construction companies that have gone bust. And it's quite something. And it's not being reported, obviously. It goes in under the radar. And it's not just like somebody losing their job, and that would be catastrophic enough. The amount of money that is spent on this type of machinery is hundreds of thousands. They have to pay the Collector General as well every quarter their taxes. So they obviously all employ accountants and whatever. So they also have plant hires as well and places to store the machinery, which costs thousands and thousands. So when you see hauliers going broke, it's catastrophic, because they will be after using something as collateral to pay for these very expensive machines. And that could be a house or land or borrowing if they can't use collateral. So it's catastrophic for them when their businesses close. And I think the fact that the diesel has risen so high now, some of the companies might have struggled on and hoped for the best and just maybe thinking things will turn around and the war in Iran will finish. But if it's a long-term thing, they can't see any way out, because they're already in debt. They have to have good machinery, and the reason for that is they can't afford a tractor or a truck to break down in the middle of a job, because then you're looking for a tractor mechanic, which are scarce enough on the ground, a good tractor mechanic, and obviously expensive, but it's time that's lost. It's precious time that's lost. The farmers are also dealing with the spraying of the skies. So a lot of them have bought into this green agenda in order to survive. You know, it was a case of, yeah, we'll do what the government want because we still want to farm. Now, I do understand some of them are getting enormous subsidies. Look, there's movement. Some of them are getting enormous subsidies as well, but they're after changing the climate. Okay, pet. Okay, love. Right, there seems to be a little change of plan. So unless you're from the countryside or have grown up with farmers and truckers, you won't really understand the lifestyle that goes with it. There is no family life. There are no days off, you know, apart from, we'll say, their downtime. But for farmers, there's no day off. Forget about it. That's Dairy Gold. A lot of them are long distance as well. A lot of them have multi-drops every day, and they're stuck in their trucks. They're moving. So they would have multiple drops during the day, pick up, and they'd have return loads as well if they go to a place to try and get a return load to make it worth their while to even go out onto the road. Nice John Deere there. I must say we've got some fantastic tractors down in the south. A little bit of movement on the other side. This is a considerable protest. I would love to walk but the ground is uneven and I don't fancy falling down, so I'm not going to. Just going to stay put now until the Kerrygold truck passes. I think the diesel situation really is just the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of them. It's just too much, and they have to make a living as well, considering the hours that they're putting in. They're very, very unsociable hours. They're up rain, hail, sleet and snow. They're travelling on scandalous roads sometimes without salt or grit, where they have to be somewhere. For transcontinental truck drivers, they have to meet the ferry on time. Their place is booked, and if they don't meet that ferry on time, the haulage company has to pay for another booking. So I would advise against blocking the ports, because what you're actually doing is you're getting in their way. You're not helping them. You're not helping the truck driver. And frankly, there's no way the government will allow the ports to be blocked. I would strongly advise to advise not to do it. And that is a real go slow. Mother of God. So I've grown up around trucks all my life. There's photographs of me at home as a baby with the trucks. It's second nature to me. And I grew up in the countryside as well for a period of time. My family, my brother-in-law, my brother, my father, all truck drivers, and their extended family. God help anybody trying to get to Cork City today. I'm telling you, if they had an appointment very early this morning was the time to go, because I'm not going to be going there now. Ken, is it okay to say hello? Delighted to see you here, my darling. Hey, hey. How are you?
I'm good.
So it's not live, but it will be uploaded, okay? You're supporting them?
Absolutely.
That's what we love about you.
Our own business is affected by it as well. We're in the motor trade ourselves. We're seeing it. We're talking to hauliers. We're talking to people that are buying tractor parts off us for the last 35 years. They're telling us how difficult it is. But everybody is affected by this.
Oh, yeah.
This doesn't just affect one particular sector of society. Everybody is affected by the energy costs.
And
government is
100%, and I think you know and I know this is tying into the Agenda 2030 perfectly for the government. Let's be straight.
Well, look, the reality is that we're only in Europe do we see carbon taxes being implemented, taxing people on things that are happening in China and happening in Vietnam.
Absolutely.
Carbon tax isn't fair. It isn't right. And by the way, it isn't an opt-in or an opt-out.
Correct.
It isn't. We do have an opportunity to opt out. There are other ways of making carbon tax. The carbon tax money that's being collected at the moment, over €500 million being collected, it's not working. the ministers will roll out this refit and all this sort of carry on. But the reality of it is that you want to ball on the money under the bed before you're able to refit the house.
Absolutely, and most people haven't got that kind of money.
It doesn't make sense whatsoever.
Great to see you. It's great to see you. Oh, thank you. All the best, Ken. Thank you for everything. Well done. So that was Ken O'Keefe, Independent TD in Mallow. I like Ken, he's on the ball, he knows what's going on. He knows the agenda, if you know what I mean. It's Agenda 2030. And this suits the government down to the ground because they don't want us in our cars, they don't want us in our trucks, they want us on buses and trains. Well, how's that gonna work? How's that gonna work? You know, for emergencies and everything. It's not going to work. We need our cars. You know, unless you're living in a city and you can hop on a bus and it's outside your door. But what do you do if you need a hospital appointment, or there's a very sick child in the house at 3 or 4 in the morning? You need a car. You need a car. We don't have taxis on tap in the countryside at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. We need our cars, and the idea is, of course, to herd everybody off the countryside and into these 15-minute cities and towns, and they want the countryside for themselves, basically. They want to be able to grow their own. Love it. And they want to grow the food for us. They don't want us to have access to fresh, natural, organic food. They want to control everything. So yeah, it's tightening all the time. Every year it's tightening. They want us living in tiny apartments. They don't want us to have our own homes. They don't want us to even have access to rent a home, let alone buy a home, you know? There's a little bit of traffic getting through. It might be for emergencies or whatever. You know, truckers tend to be pretty well-mannered on the road. They usually allow people take the road, and, you know, they let them out and whatever. But what I would advise, don't ever take on the trucker on the road. It's too dangerous. You could lose your life. And I've stories about that too, but this is not the place. It's a real go slow all the way to Blarney. That's quite a little step. So God help anybody wanting to use that motorway today. Dying for a coffee. I brought a coffee with me, but it'll have to stay. Now we've some more truckers here. It seems to be going in batches. There's a little bit of a gap being left, and they let a certain amount through, and then they start again. Not a bad turnout. So I have my tricolour draped across me. They'll know I'm friendly. Yeah, definitely going in batches. They're leaving a gap. See a lot of trucks there in the background coming up as well. Love it. Have you to take it in little batches, is it? There has to be a gap? There has to be a gap. I thought that. Very best of luck to you. I'll be uploading this later. Are you part of it? You are? Love it, love it. We need our truck drivers and our farmers. Absolute, that's the bottom line. Love it. I must admit, I'm very fond of truck drivers. My dad was a lovely man. So, Lucy's. You can just see the size of the containers they bring in. So you know there's a port in Cork City as well. They're the boys that bring in our goods from abroad. Everything and anything. They go down, collect the containers. It's loaded onto the truck and secured, and then brought to the warehouses or destination, whatever. Now, coal and gravel. Now, and here we have the FRS boys. They've been waiting there all morning. Yay. And they're feeling the pinch too. There's quite a few of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what is it? 6, 7, 8. There's quite a lot. Yeah, Cork is going to feel this today. Little sting from Mallow. I'm glad I came. We don't have this often. They're still in the background. We haven't seen all this yet. So Mallow is a satellite town off of Cork City. It's a considerable town as well. Bigger than Mitchellstown. And because of its location, we've a lot of people in Mallow, from Mallow, working in Cork City. So the old road from Mallow to Cork had 121 bends. So a lot of people used to get car sickness, including myself. And then they built this motorway because the traffic, and there's also plans to extend it from the other side of the motorway going into Limerick. However, I think with this downturn that we're going to be facing, we'll be waiting for that motorway into Limerick from Mallow. So FRS maintenance are very well represented here today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and possibly 10 vehicles. And of course, because they're on the road so much as well, they need cheap diesel. They need it, we need it. And at least they've put their money where their mouth is today. They've taken time out of their schedule to gather together and stand in solidarity with each other, because businesses are under pressure. And when you've got an outside cost coming into a business that can be jacked up at will by the government, it's very hard for a business to plan. So, and don't forget that these businesses are paying taxes, very serious taxes, and that's what's underpinning the entire economy. You know, these are the ordinary blue-collar working men, hard-working men, very hard-working men. You know, long hours, bad conditions, rough conditions. And that's what's paying into the tax base in Ireland, and they deserve to be respected, quite frankly. This is a considerable protest. God, if I have a pile of vehicles here, you know, just the tractor units coming up behind. Scania's a great truck, obviously from Scandinavia. Great truck. So some companies today have stood down their drivers for a 3-hour period in solidarity. They might not be able to make it, but they have stood down their trucks in solidarity. Here's Green Valley. And the Ryan line, now that would tell me that's a private family ran business. Yeah, I like trucks. Don't know how much more is left in this, because I can see some cars beginning to make their way into the line. But we'll stick with it another little while. I can only imagine the blockage at the other side of the roundabout. So the roundabout is going down along there, and it will be utter chaos there now because this is blocked. Chaos, and not just for the town, but for exiting onto Killarney and onto Limerick as well, and Galway. I'm sorry about the shaky picture. I don't have all the gimmicks and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't need it, I don't want it. This was a spur of the moment decision to get here today. I wanted to see what way the weather was, and a few other things in the background as well had to play out. But I wanted to show my solidarity as well. These are ordinary working men. These are our fathers, our brothers, our cousins, our own, that work incredibly hard You know, they're not loitering around the place, you know, like the migrants are expecting free stuff, you know, coming in, having their accommodation paid for and everything. These are working men. And you can see a family there. He's got the young fellow with him in the truck. Aww. Hey. You know. Yeah, they're friendly. Now there is some traffic getting down from Cork City. And this is why traffic management had to be brought in. They can't expect the whole motorway to come to a standstill for this, because industry has to carry on, you know. Now I can see some trucks coming through with loads, which would tell me that they, oh hang on, the load could be empty, so they might not have anything in it. I'm not sure. Are you pet? No. That looks like a horse container. Now I have a feeling that this is some of the regular traffic, okay, and they're trying to get through. So yeah, it is definitely, because they're carrying loads. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to get something to eat, get fresh coffee, and it's over and out from Mallow, County Cork.